If you're already dealing with a puppy who's learned a lot of naughty behaviors, your first order of business is to... Hi, new puppy parents. If we haven't met, I'm Dr. Rose Mampili. I'm a veterinarian and dog behavior consultant. New puppy owners always make this one big mistake. They let their puppy have too much freedom too soon. And I get why new puppy parents would make this mistake. It's just that the puppy is seemingly harmless and it's just too cute. Your heart breaks to say no to him, and you don't want your puppy to hate you for any reason. You want him to enjoy himself, and you and your family want to enjoy your puppy. And so what happens is that you just let your puppy run free around your house. And in the first few days, whatever naughtiness he gets up to, you think he's just being adorable and his mischief is just completely forgivable. But then, seemingly all of a sudden, your puppy is now peeing and pooping anywhere around the house. He's chewing things he shouldn't be chewing, play biting on you, and doing all sorts of other naughty puppy behavior that you now have to deal with. Not all puppy owners will have the same experience with their puppy. You might get lucky and have a pup that's quiet and calm from the start all the way until he grows up. But it's more likely you'll have a puppy that to some degree will be active and curious and will love to explore, which is natural. But if you allow your puppy to freely explore his environment without any supervision from you, he'll discover how to get the things he needs and wants in ways that may be inappropriate, undesirable, and also unsafe. He might learn that knocking over the trash can is a way to get some food, that the kitchen counter is a good place to look for some goodies. He might discover that chewing on your shoes is really fun to do, and that your living room carpet is as good a place as any to relieve himself. The more you allow him to randomly practice these undesirable or naughty behaviors, the more these behaviors become reinforced, and that means the naughty behavior becomes stronger, it becomes harder to stop, and will likely require more effort to correct. Therefore, it's really important to, for now at least, limit your untrained puppy's movements to puppy-proofed spaces, and it's really important to supervise him whenever he's moving around your house. So I want to emphasize this. Active management and supervision is really, really important because, number one, it keeps your puppy safe. Number two, it prevents your puppy from learning inappropriate ways for how to access his needs and wants. And number three, it protects your belongings and spares you from having to clean up any mess. Active management and supervision are really the cornerstone of successful training, because no matter how much you try to train your puppy for obedience or home manners or whatever, you're taking training classes, you're working with a trainer, if in the in-between times when you're not training with your puppy, he's free to get into naughty behavior, then that still gets reinforced. The naughty behavior becomes reinforced. It becomes stronger. So if you're already dealing with a puppy who's learned a lot of naughty behaviors, your first order of business is to find ways to put a stop to these behaviors being repeated again and again. You really need to prevent any bad behavior before your puppy can get into it. And we'll get into various management strategies in a later video. Now you may ask, well, why can't I just punish my puppy when I catch him making a mistake or doing something naughty? Maybe you really don't want to think about all the management and supervision stuff because it sounds like a lot of work. Maybe you've heard that all you have to do to get your puppy to behave is to jab him in the ribs when you catch him doing something naughty, or that you should smack him with a rolled up newspaper when he poops in the wrong spot. Maybe you've been told to pin your puppy to the floor when he's being hyperactive. So let's think about what the problem is if you don't have a management and supervision plan in place, and when you decide to just reactively punish your puppy whenever you catch him misbehaving. If you leave your puppy unmanaged, he's very likely to get into trouble. At some point, as he's running around the house unsupervised, he'll probably get bored and he'll want to chew on things, and then he'll feel the need to relieve himself. And then you come along and you punish him for the things he's done. That doesn't save you from having to clean up the mess, and it doesn't save your things from being torn up by puppy teeth, because the punishment came after the fact. Because punishment comes after the fact, that means that the puppy will have already gotten his reward from doing the bad behavior. He'll already have had the satisfaction and fun of chewing on your shoes. And sometimes the memory of that fun experience is enough motivation to prompt the puppy to repeat the behavior again. It may even outweigh the fear of punishment. Harsh punishment especially may have the effect of causing other behavior issues such as fearfulness and aggression to develop in your puppy. It may also provoke your puppy to respond defensively towards you, which puts you at risk of defensive bites from your puppy. If you're a softie like me, you're not going to have the heart to mete out any harsh enough punishment to make an impact on your puppy anyway. That doesn't make you a weak or poor leader. And it's definitely not true that the only way to get your puppy to respect you and to be obedient is by being tough on him. If you're not inclined to be harsh and use physical force with your puppy, it probably means a proactive approach rather than a reactive punishment-based approach is more aligned with who you are as a person. So I'm not saying force and punishment-based techniques are ineffective, and I'm not saying your puppy won't learn anything from being given consequences for wrong behavior. But think about what kind of training techniques you want to be using and if these are aligned with what kind of teacher or guardian you want to be for your puppy, and understand that there are possible negative effects of using force or punishment-based training techniques on your dog, and that this can affect what kind of relationship you'll have with him. When you adopt a proactive mindset, you recognize that it's your responsibility to prevent puppy misbehavior before it happens. And you would then utilize reward-based training techniques to guide and teach your puppy the appropriate behaviors you would like him to learn. Instead of waiting for the puppy to make mistakes and then reactively punishing him for it, you would proactively set up his environment to prevent or at least minimize the occurrence of mistakes or naughty behavior. At the same time, you will routinely guide your puppy towards allowable activities and encourage desirable and appropriate behaviors that get him everything he needs and wants. So everybody comes out a winner. I mean, how you choose to teach and discipline your puppy is very much a personal choice, much like how you would think about parenting a child. But as long as you do it within the limits of being humane towards your puppy, you definitely don't want to be cruel and inhumane, right? Personally, I'm of the mind that force-based or punishment-based techniques in basic dog training are really unnecessary. And even at higher levels of training, there are highly experienced and accomplished trainers who are successful with their dogs without resorting to aversive techniques. So as a vet, I feel that my responsibility to my clients and to my patients is to avoid aversive, potentially pain and stress-inducing training methods, especially if there are alternative techniques available that will produce the same result. So it would also be very irresponsible of me as a professional to suggest you use techniques that may provoke aggressive dog behaviors and that may put you or your family members needlessly at risk of defensive bites from your pup. That's what guides my choice of what training approach to use with my dogs. And if you're still here, hopefully we're of the same mind and we're in agreement about sticking to proactive reward-based dog training methods. So you can expect that if you get guidance from me, we avoid using aversives, we avoid force, and we avoid punishment-based training methods. With a proactive training approach, the need for punishment is actually almost non-existent because your puppy will be set up to always make good choices and will hardly be making any mistakes at all. And so you'll have almost no house soiling, no destructive chewing, and no play biting to deal with, which sounds ideal, right? But it isn't always easy to commit to being proactive because it does take a lot of self-education and planning and consistency. But For you, new puppy parent, the good news is that I already have a plan how to proactively set up your puppy for success. As I mentioned in previous videos, I'm prepared to launch the Proactive Puppy Training online course specifically meant for new puppy owners like yourself. To help you proactively achieve your training goals for your puppy, my 4-step plan for you is to step number 1, provide you with a basic understanding of how your puppy learns and why your puppy behaves or misbehaves as he does. Step number 2, I'm going to give you the knowledge and skills you need to implement a good puppy management and supervision strategy to immediately stop any puppy misbehavior. Step number 3, I'll help you develop a daily routine that will allow you to adequately attend to your puppy's needs while also giving time for yourself to do your daily tasks and take breaks in between. And step number 4, I'll teach you how to continuously guide and engage your puppy in activities that reinforce the behaviors that you want him to learn. As a student of the course, you'll get direct coaching from me, and you'll be welcome to join a community of fellow puppy parents so that you can give each other encouragement and additional support to achieve your puppy training goals. So at this point, I do want to invite you again, if you're committed to being hands-on and proactive with raising your puppy, please do sign up for the Proactive Puppy Training course email list so we can connect and I can share more information with you as I develop and get ready to roll out the course. The link to sign up is in the video description. Don't worry, there's no pressure to enroll. Even just as a subscriber, you'll get loads of resources to help you with raising and training your puppy. So when I started out as a new puppy parent, it was really eye-opening for me to understand my dog's point of view. And when you take time to actually understand your dog and know his needs and wants, it really becomes easier to understand why misbehavior happens. And you actually begin to understand more that misbehavior is just the dog behaving in ways that are natural to him and that make sense to him. And behavior is only undesirable for us because it sometimes is disruptive and it inconveniences our human way of life. So understanding that, you become more forgiving and you start to focus more on teaching your dog rather than just policing him. You'll have a relationship with your dog that's based on trust and cooperation. If with our dogs, we practice prioritizing compassion and understanding over reacting to behaviors we don't understand with force and with punishment, then we become better people in general because we start applying the same approach in how we deal with people who may have different views and do things differently than us, which is just going to make the whole world a better place. So if you agree and want to hear more from me, please do like and subscribe to this channel. Definitely join my mailing list to get more free proactive puppy training resources from me to help with your puppy. And then comment below if you'd like to discuss the proactive reward-based training approach further. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.